This is the Berman Method podcast featuring Dr. Jake Berman and physician assistant Jenni Berman. We are here to treat problems and not symptoms. Disclaimer, this podcast is for entertainment purposes only and not to treat anyone or to give medical advice. If you are interested in any information that we are giving and would like to use this for yourself, we recommend that you contact your primary care physician or reach out to us and ask us questions about yourself specifically. Enjoy.
And we're back, the Berman Method podcast. I'm going to be a little less energetic with my opening speech or my opening lines this morning because we got Vera in mommy's lap again, trying to not scream.
We apologize in advance. We're having a little bit more of a rough day.
Dr. Jake Berman here with my beautiful bride,
Jenni Berman, physician assistant.
The Berman Method podcast, where we're focused on treating problems and not symptoms. We are David against Goliath, going against the corporate medical system. And it's actually some things that we wanted to talk about today was the difference between quick fixes and an actual lifestyle change, mostly with your side of the practice, with the health and wellness side of the practice, because so many people think that what you do is a diet, and it's not. It's not a diet at all. It is an actual lifestyle. So it's not like you can do this and lose some weight and heal your gut and then 6 months later go back to eating the same crap that you were eating. It's an actual lifestyle change.
Right. And that's something, we're going to talk a lot today about healthy weight loss, but just to kind of recap, if anybody is new here to this podcast, is we do a lot more in the nutrition side, the wellness practice. We do a lot more than just weight. I had somebody come to me last week and say, I'm going to come in for a consult, but I'm probably not going to do a whole program because I don't need to lose weight. My weight is fine. I'm good. I'm overall really healthy. I'm just struggling with essentially some autoimmune stuff, blood pressure issues, sweating issues, hormonal changes. And I had to explain, we're not just a weight loss practice. Yes, 50% of our clients are there for weight management, but the other 50% are there for autoimmune disease, hormone imbalance, gut health issues. So
high blood pressure,
high cholesterol, thyroid issues, migraines. I mean, the list could go on and on and on. Tremors, yeah. We are seeing a few tremors right now, actually. A lot of different diagnoses that we deal with because we're treating the body from the inside out. We're not just looking to hand you a medication. We're not just looking for the Western medicine answer of, here, take this drug. We're actually looking at the body from the inside and trying to figure out what is causing the symptoms that you're having and how can we treat the problems from a nutrition-based standpoint, a supplement-based standpoint, a vitamin deficiency-based standpoint. So we're going to talk more today about the weight management side of things, but a lot of what we also do, I just wanted to preface, is also a lot of gut health and internal lifestyle adjustments.
Yeah, so getting back to the whole lifestyle aspect of it, so many people struggle with weight loss, struggle with leaky gut, struggle with all of these things, all of the things that you just mentioned. Struggled with physical health. We haven't even talked about physical health. I can't get into the gym and work out because my knees hurt. Your knees hurt because you're 50 pounds overweight. And whenever you get on the treadmill, you're running with horrible mechanics. You're landing on your heel every time you run, and it's killing your knees. So that's your excuse for not getting into the gym and getting physically active. So it all plays into itself. It's all tied together as far as lifestyle change goes. So being able to be cognizant of what is the lifestyle that you want to live. Do you want to live the lifestyle of somebody that is more overall healthy or somebody that's not overall healthy? And just, we're 5 minutes into this thing and I just want to get it right out of the gate right now. And there's always somebody listening to this that's going to say, well, yeah, I know this guy that smoked cigars every single day of his life and drank 15 Cokes every single day and ate McDonald's every single day and lived to 95. Okay, well, I also know 100 other ones that didn't make it past 60.
Right.
So there's always going to be the one that makes it. There's always going to be the majority, the overwhelming majority that don't make it. So we don't want to look at those one-off people. Everybody, I don't know if everybody knows it. However, it's well known that Warren Buffett drinks at least 12 Cokes a day.
Oh, my word.
He's in his 90s. But what is his lifestyle like? The man sits at a desk all day long and he reads. He reads all day long.
Right.
He doesn't do anything. He doesn't spend his money. He's still driving a 1980s Lincoln, richest man in the world, or at least he was multiple times. So yeah, he can drink 12 cans of Coke a day. He's not doing anything.
Right. He's not expending any energy. He's not activating the muscles. Wow. I didn't know that. That sounds expensive also. That was my first thought when you said that. And I didn't even go to the sugar aspect. I went
Sounds expensive?
Yeah. 12 Cokes a day. That's
expensive?
Well, I know, not for Warren Buffett.
Are you serious?
Not for him,
my
but just in general, I'm like, man, a case a day.
So again, at the end of the day, what is the lifestyle that you want to live? Do you want to be in your 80s and able to golf 3 to 4 times a week, play tennis every other day or even every day? Do you want to be able to walk for miles? Do you want to be able to take your grandkids or even great grandkids to Disney World? How many miles do you walk in one day at Disney? Like that's a question.
I think it's 8+.
Yeah, it's definitely more than 5.
Yeah, because I think it's like 15,000 steps is the average, and 10,000 steps on average is about 5 miles.
10,000 steps is 5 miles?
I think so.
I don't know about that.
Or is it 3? It's more than 3.
3 miles?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so don't hold us
we'll
to
fact check that.
Yeah, don't hold us to the steps, but we do know that on average people are walking 5 miles a day when they go to Disney. So how many of the grandparents or even great grandparents would be able to do that and not feel like death the next day? So what kind of lifestyle do you want to live? Do you want to be able to walk down the beach? Do you want to be able to get in and out of a boat? I mean, how many people do we know that would struggle getting in and out of a boat?
Right.
Do you want to be able to get in and out of a pool? This is all lifestyle stuff.
It is. And, the other side of it is the confidence. Do you want to be confident getting in that dress for that wedding that you have to go to, or your arms looking the way you want them to when you have to go present at an event? That's a huge side of what we do too, is just feeling you're not going to feel your best if you are not confident in yourself looking your best too. So yes, we need the physical aspect. Yes, we need the gut health aspect. We need our joints to be healthy, but we have to have all 3 components, meaning the mental, emotional, and physical all lined up together.
I love it. Another way to look at things is when you're thinking about a lifestyle change, and yes, this is not a diet, this is a lifestyle change. It's so much easier to do when we're thinking about food as fuel. If we just think about food being fuel, then we don't really have a problem with not eating that cookie, eating that piece of cake. Look at me, the pot calling the kettle black right now. You don't have as big of an issue not saying no to these crappy food sources, because if you look at it as fuel, it's really all food is. Food's only purpose is to give your body fuel. It's that simple. So if you've got a $100,000 sports car in your garage, you would never put the crappiest fuel into the gas tank. You wouldn't even put 87 into the gas tank. Like, you wouldn't put crap fuel in there. You're only going to put premium grade fuel in there because you want the engine to run its best. The body is the same exact thing. Whenever you eat a cupcake, you're putting shit fuel into your body.
Right.
And I felt it. We've got a lot going on right now with this new arrival to our family. We got family visiting. Our schedule's been off. And then one day last week or 2 weeks ago, we went out on a Thursday night for your mom's birthday. Mm-hmm. So we went and had sushi and, of course, had a couple of drinks at dinner and ate 3 sushi rolls and edamame and had massive piece of cake. Oh, that cake was so good. And a cupcake to go with it.
Cake. Shout out to Caked.
Yeah, Caked.
Gluten-free vegan bakery in Naples. If you haven't been there, it's not necessarily low sugar, but it's delicious.
Very delicious. So this was a Thursday night, and Friday morning is usually my strongest morning of the entire week in the gym. I'm usually so excited to get into the gym on Friday because I just feel the best. I'm the strongest out of the whole entire week of working out on Friday morning. So I get in there Friday morning, and it took me every bit of 20 minutes to get going Friday morning. And this had nothing to do with the poor sleep quality that we've been getting with Vera. This had everything to do with sludge in my veins. It was just so bad. My goal for Friday was to set a new PR, personal record, on the rower, because I had been doing that every single week for the past 4 weeks. By the way, you should be measuring things and writing things down. So whatever you're doing in the gym, make sure you write it down so that you can do better than that the next week. So my goal for that Friday was to get a new PR on the rower. And the first 90 seconds on that thing, I said, there is 0% chance it's happening. Mm-hmm. There was nothing I could do psychologically either. It's like I couldn't push myself to even try to push myself.
Right.
Because there was sludge in my veins.
Well, and it comes down to, this is a more in-depth explanation of what was going on, but just the amount of sugar from the night before. So not just the sugar from the cake, but the sugar from the alcohol, the sugar that carbohydrates or rice turns into. So between having carbohydrates as rice, alcohol, sugar from cake, you go to bed with a high blood sugar. At some point throughout the night, your blood sugar drops and your body wakes you up. So now you have interrupted poor quality sleep because of a blood sugar instability. So we wake up at 4:20 a.m. to go to the gym every day, and your blood sugar has just been so irregular throughout the night. Your sleep is poor quality, but now you wake up in the morning and head to the gym and blood sugar is still unstable. So that is just a longer explanation to say why you didn't have the fuel you needed the morning going into the gym because of the poor quality sleep and because of the unstable blood sugar for the past 12 hours.
It was crazy. And it's happening so more often now that overall I'm eating way healthier than I did BJ before Jenny. Mm-hmm. I'm eating night and day healthier than I am now, especially since Jenny has gone through this gluten-free transformation unintentionally, dairy-free transformation unintentionally. So essentially Sunday night through Friday afternoon, I'm eating very clean, very healthy, gluten-free, dairy-free. And then on Friday, it all goes out the window because we go out to restaurants and I can order any crap that I want to eat or anything that I want to order. And I feel it now. So when I have a piece of cake, for example, within 5 minutes, I will feel like crap. Mm-hmm. It's like, what the heck? I used to be able to eat a half a cake and 15 cookies on top of it after eating a full pizza by myself, and I wouldn't ever feel like crap. However, now, because I eat so much cleaner, when I do eat that piece of cake, within 5 minutes, I feel like crap, and I'm going, that was not worth it.
Right.
Just was not worth it. I feel like crap now.
And we have to say, we practice what we preach. So like he said, when we're eating at home, and for the most part, when we're eating out, we're actually still doing a very good job, but we practice what we preach. And every night for dinner is a protein and a vegetable. During the day, we have our protein every 2 to 3 hours. So everything that I am discussing with our clients on a daily basis of how to stabilize blood sugar, how to increase lean muscle mass, how to help our energy, how to stabilize our sleep at night, how to improve our vitamin levels. These are all things that we're working with clients on every single day. And we do it, and we know how to live that lifestyle and still enjoy a lifestyle. And that's the most important part.
I love it. By the way, Vera has officially just closed her eyes. She's not sleeping. She's still moving, but her eyes are actually closed. So this is a big win for the moment.
She's been a very, very, very good sleeper, but last
night was not good.
Last night was not good.
Last night was brutal.
So here we are.
Mostly for you, but for me too. That was brutal last night.
your first night getting up with us.
Oh man. So hold on.
Oh yeah.
Before we switch gears, or were you going to switch gears?
Yeah, I was going to kind of go back into why we started on this route of talking what we were talking about today.
Before we do that, hold your thought. I do want to wrap up that topic with this one thing where I never fully understood the impact of what you eat the night before on how it can impact your ability to exercise the next morning, because I never exercise on Friday or Saturday morning. You're always the one that wakes up Saturday morning. I sleep in till 7 while you're up at 6 and you're out there on the spin bike. So I don't ever realize the impact that a crappy meal the night before has on it. So when we went out to dinner for your mom's birthday, let's say we had 2 drinks, 3 sushi rolls.
Between the two of us.
Yeah, 3 sushi rolls between the two of us, a piece of cake, and a little mini cupcake. It wasn't a full-size cupcake. It was a mini cupcake. The next morning, I felt like crap. And the reason why this is relevant is because there's a lot of our listeners, a lot of the people that are following us, that their main apprehension to working with you is they say, well, you're going to make me stop my wine. Because they have wine every single night. You know, they have 2 glasses of wine a night, or 3 or 4 or 5 glasses or drinks a night. Now, if you knew the impact that was having on your ability to reach your physical aspirations, would you still do it?
Right. Yeah, and exactly where you were going is, what is the goal? You know, if you want a slower progress with a little bit more lenient of a lifestyle, then that's the progress you get. But if you know that, you know, you just have to make that decision. What's the ultimate, what is your ultimate goal? How good do you ultimately want to feel? How quickly do you ultimately want to get better? And then we adjust for that.
I think that's great. Remembering that food is fuel, and it's just because I've done it for weeks or months or years doesn't mean I have to keep doing it. Meaning I used to eat cookies every single chance that I got. Doesn't mean that I have to keep eating cookies every chance that I got. I used to eat cereal every single night before bed for dessert. Doesn't mean that I have to keep eating cereal every single night before bed before dessert or for dessert. Just because you have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 glasses of wine every single night, and that's part of your lifestyle because you're retired and you're social and you're out and that's just what you do, doesn't mean that you have to keep doing that. It really just depends on what is the lifestyle that you want to live.
Well, and you know, a lot of people don't realize that the habits that they've gotten into are because of cravings, and there is a way to fix the cravings so that you don't crave that cereal after dinner. You don't crave that dessert after dinner. You don't crave the alcohol. There's a reason that you're craving it. There's a reason it's become habitual. There's a reason you're wanting it. So let's get inside and look at the metabolic reason, the metabolism from the inside, and correct the problem. And then you're going to be like, wow, I don't even care to have that wine anymore. I don't even care to have that chocolate after dinner. Like, you know, I used to have it and now I don't even think about it. Now I have control and can go out socially and have a drink and enjoy it with friends. I don't have to binge on multiple, or I can enjoy a half a slice of cake rather than binging on 2 to 3 pieces of cake and then being upset with myself afterwards. Like, why did I even do that? There's a reason inside. It's not always just based on your own willpower or your brain.
I love that. And that gives a lot of people a cop-out. It's not your fault.
Technically. Yeah. I mean, it may not be. Yes, to some extent, or at some point, we have to have determination. We have to have discipline. You have to. That's, there's no doubt about that. However, there's typically something else that's playing into it. So it's making it more challenging to keep the discipline.
The biggest thing that I saw personally was, or is, not was, is, because this is a continuous thing, is when I get an adequate amount of protein and vegetables for dinner, I could care less about having cereal afterwards.
Right.
I could care less about seeing what you got hidden in the pantry for Stella. I could care less about it. Versus some other nights where I may not eat enough protein, I may not eat enough vegetables. It's like, okay, where's the honey roasted peanuts at? Give me something.
And the fiber, the vegetables, fiber makes a big difference, and people don't realize that. They're like, I don't really like vegetables, but that's a big component. So how can we figure out a way to like veggies? Well, what kind of different ways can we make them, or what can we add to them, or can we sneak them into casseroles with the protein pasta to get more fiber, more vegetable into our diet? Because that's going to make a huge difference, not only for satiety, meaning your hunger and satisfaction of what you're eating, but for cholesterol values, for your gut health, for your brain health, preventing Alzheimer's, dementia. Fiber is so important.
Speaking of that, when we had breakfast the other mornings, Sunday, we were cooking breakfast at home, and we had some leftover broccoli from Saturday night dinner. And you're like, why don't you throw that into the eggs? Because I was making a bunch of scrambled eggs. There's 5 of us were feeding, so I just scrambled up a bunch of eggs. She said, throw in some of that. Jenny said, throw in some of that broccoli in there. So I chopped it up and threw some into the scrambled eggs and ate it. And one of the things that I had noticed was that, first of all, after breakfast, I wasn't looking for something sweet, because habitually after a Sunday morning breakfast, I'm just looking for something just because it's a habit. And I'm like, let's just do something. It's my last hurrah of the weekend, so to speak, before Jenny kicks my butt and puts me back on the bandwagon. But I wasn't looking for that after breakfast. And the next thing that I noticed was I was pretty well satisfied all the way up to lunchtime.
Fuller longer.
Yeah, it was fuller longer. And that was just from throwing some broccoli into the scrambled eggs.
Right. So just fiber anywhere. Throw some frozen spinach into your protein shake. Throw some cauliflower rice into your oatmeal or into your grits, which I actually did while my parents were here. I made grits one morning and put cauliflower rice into the grits, and nobody even knew.
I knew.
I never even told anybody.
I
knew. You did not.
I was like, there's something funny about these grits.
No, you didn't. Tell the truth.
They were delicious.
You didn't even notice.
I didn't notice.
Yeah, neither did my dad, and he's like a grits connoisseur.
I think they were actually a little creamier.
They actually, I think, were too. I agree with that.
Yeah.
So throw some cauliflower rice into your oatmeal, throw it into your grits, throw, the frozen spinach, like I said, into your shake, the broccoli into your eggs. Hide it. I do it to Stella every day.
Every day. I hope Stella's not listening.
She has broccoli in her corn muffins that she eats a lot of nights.
Yeah, she thinks that it's just a treat, but it's not. You're getting broccoli.
Cupcakes with zucchini in them. So fiber is important.
So let's bring everything full circle, because there's so many people that want to, speaking of cake, they want to have their cake and eat it too. I don't really understand where that saying came from, but I think everybody understands that the saying wanting your cake or having your cake and eating it too means that you want the best of both worlds. And it usually doesn't work that way. And so many people think that you can do that. So many people think that they can have wine every single night, have drinks every single night, and go out to dinner. How many of our clients go out to dinner 4 to 5 to 6 nights a week.
Right.
You got to remember that the vast majority of restaurants, not just in this town, but in this country, they're getting their food off the Cisco truck, which means they're not preparing. They're just heating it up.
Right.
So when you get food off of a Cisco truck or whatever the brand is, Cisco's just one brand, it's full of preservatives.
Exactly.
It's not clean eating food. So yeah, you might order something healthy. You could order a salad with grilled chicken on top of it. But if it's from the frickin' Cisco truck, it's got preservatives in it.
Right.
So it's not healthy. Versus getting some clean organic chicken yourself, grilling it, and throwing it on some good lettuce, that's completely different. So you just got to understand that if you're going to do these things, you cannot expect to be physically in amazing shape. You cannot expect to be fitting into the clothes that you want to fit into. You can't have both. So you've got to negotiate. You got to figure it out. If you're going to go out to eat a lot, you're going to have to find these seed to table style restaurants.
That's one thing, you know, finding the higher quality restaurants that make things in-house is important, and being able to modify your meals. So if it comes with couscous, say, no couscous, can I get the extra vegetables or a side salad instead? And they're going to say, we'll upcharge you $2 to do it. And you say, okay, that's what my lifestyle is worth, is to have that upcharge to substitute for more vegetables. At least you're making the best decisions possible. But the other side is, you know, yes, we understand our clients are very social, especially during season where you're going out and you're having your events, and that's okay. We want this to be a lifestyle so you can continue doing that. What we have to remember is, how do we modify the rest of our day to balance that a little bit easier? And when you have the option, invite your friends to your house and cook the meal at your house as opposed to meeting them out to a restaurant. So again, then you have the option of creating a 4-course meal, 5-course meal, however many courses that you want, but you can make the decisions of what you're having for yourself versus what's available to everybody else. And again, you know, like I've already said, is modifying the rest of the day. At the end of the day, we have to balance our macronutrients, our proteins, carbs, and fats for the day. And yes, we need to be making, you know, the cleanest options that we can, but we still want to live a lifestyle. And so then, like Jake is saying, you decide, what does that lifestyle look like for you, and what's the progress rate that you want to be at?
Every time we go out to eat, I swear 95% of the menu at any restaurant is shit. Like, it's just crap. As far as macronutrients goes and actual fuel that you're putting into your body, yeah, 70% of it might sound delicious, and I would love to eat 70% of the stuff on the menu. But at the same time, I'm going, 90% of this stuff is just crap fuel. Why would I want to spend a couple $100 on a dinner for crap fuel?
Right.
I mean, there's so many times we go to a restaurant and I'm looking at Cajun chicken pasta or any of these things, these flatbreads, and I'm going, oh my gosh, that just sounds so good. But at the end of the day, I'm going, I know that the protein to fat to carb ratio is absolutely horrific.
Correct. Right.
Absolutely horrific. And if this was a cheat day, then it'd be a no-brainer. But the problem is, it's not a cheat day. It's not a cheat day if you do it more than one day a week.
Right. Yeah. And that's it too, you know, having that balance. You don't have to eat chicken and broccoli every single day, every single meal. That's not a lifestyle either. And we know that. We don't live that lifestyle of chicken and broccoli every single day. Having variety in your dinner. So looking at our cookbook that we have on Amazon.
Oh, you have a cookbook?
Yes. So that you're not stuck on just a plain protein and a plain vegetable. Have the casseroles that we make. Have the chicken Horford that we make. You know, we have a lot of different recipes on that cookbook on Amazon. We'll link it on.
Horford, yeah. We haven't had chicken Horford in a while.
I'm making it Thursday night.
Oh, nice.
It's on the menu this week. Creating your menu ahead of time, like we do. Sundays, I pick out all the meals that we're going to have for the weeks. And most of the time, they're from our cookbook, or it's a new recipe that I'm going to put in the next cookbook. But creating that lifestyle. And, we started out wanting to talk about this because I had somebody ask me, can you help me lose 15 to 20 pounds in 2 weeks so I can get into a dress? And I was like, well, that's not our typical program because it's not a sustainable lifestyle to do that. You would essentially have to go on a liquid or partial liquid meal plan to be able to sustain that amount of weight loss in a 2-week period, or obtain that amount of weight loss in a 2-week period. But it's not something I recommend doing, and it's not something we do with our clients because it's not a lifestyle. It's not sustainable. It's not maintainable weight loss. And so is it possible? Potentially. Is it something I recommend? No, because we like to help our clients from the inside out. So identifying really what is going on metabolically to make you gain weight, to make you feel tired, to make you not sleep through the night, have these migraines, the IBS, the tremors, whatever it is. Let's look at blood work. Let's look at vitamin levels. Let's look at the nutrition and your gut health, and really treat the body from the inside out for a sustainable lifestyle.
I love it. And this isn't even my scope of practice, so I don't talk about it often. But when I do talk about it, I bring up the same point. When somebody says, I need to lose 30 pounds, do you think I can do it in the next month? I say, okay, how long did it take you to put the 30 pounds on? How long have you had 30 pounds on? Because a lot of people could put 30 pounds on in a couple of weeks, it seems like. But most importantly, how long have you had it on? So how long did it take to put on, and how long have you had it on? And if the answer is more than a year, why are you looking for a quick fix, opposed to the way that you should be looking at something that is very realistic? And you correct me if I'm wrong. We've had this conversation multiple times, and you've corrected me multiple times. I think that it is very realistic to lose 1 pound a week.
Oh, most definitely.
Right?
Yes.
How many weeks are there in a year?
52.
Good job.
Whew. Sleep deprivation hasn't gotten to me yet.
So if you just set your goals a little bit farther out in the future and say, okay, I've been overweight for the past 10 years. Let's set a goal for 1 year from now to not be overweight anymore. If you set a goal for 1 year from now and your goal is to lose 50 pounds and you do a minimum or an average of 1 pound a week, 1 year from now, you're 52 pounds lighter.
Right. Right.
And that's more doable. That's the analogy of eating an elephant, right? So everybody should know that analogy. We have this elephant to eat. So many people get overwhelmed if you think that you have to eat the entire elephant in one sitting. But if you understand that you're going to eat this entire elephant one bite at a time and it's going to take a while, then it's not so overwhelming anymore. Same thing's true for weight loss. Instead of thinking that you want to be down to a certain weight in X amount of time so you can fit in this wedding dress, why don't you start thinking about it a year from now? What do you want your life to look like a year from now? Because it's very, very sustainable and very, very realistic to lose 1 pound a week. And a year from today, being 50 pounds lighter, how would that change your life?
Right. And that's a great way to look at it. 1 to 2 pounds of fat loss is the key there, is our goal per week. So looking at a body composition scale in our office and really seeing fat percentage, fat mass, muscle mass, water, watching your muscle mass climb and your fat mass decrease, because the total number on the scale doesn't give you the whole picture. If you're gaining lean, adequate muscle mass through a fat loss process, your total weight on the scale may not be changing, but your fat percentage and your fat mass is coming down, which is making you a much healthier individual. So 1 to 2 pounds of fat loss per week is our goal. And if we're not reaching that goal, we're not doing something right for your metabolism. So we have to adjust. And as Jake is saying, it's a process. And if you look at yourself, okay, if I'm losing a pound a week, I'm going to be down 50 pounds in the next 1 year. That's immaculate. And it's sustainable.
And if you don't plan on dying in the next year, why wouldn't you do it?
That's right. Progression, not regression.
Yeah. So many people say, well, it's a year. It's going to take me a year to do this. And I always say, do you plan on dying in the next year?
Right.
If you don't plan on dying in the next year, why wouldn't you? Take your time, do it the right way. It's sustainable. It doesn't shock your system. Things that shock your system usually are more adaptable, right?
Right. Cool.
Anything else?
No, I think that was good. Vera did great.
Yeah, good job, Vera. Yay, Vera.
Yay. For being quiet.
She's officially sleeping. She's not moving.
And now I have to change her.
And now we have to wake her back up. I love this game. This is the best game in the world.
And Stella's being a great big sister, loves to help mom, loves to feed her, loves to help me bag her milk every day. She's doing great. She's currently outside playing, not by herself. Yeah.
With Mimi.
With Mimi. Yes. Yes. All right. Well, thanks for listening. Questions, concerns, comments, please reach out to us. We love feedback. We love good feedback, bad feedback. We love comments, questions.
We love bad feedback?
Well, like just to...
We welcome constructive feedback.
Okay.
Yeah,
we don't love it, but we welcome it so that we can grow.
Well, I love bad feedback. We don't love bad feedback.
That's true.
I'm like, bring it on. Let's go to battle.
That's true.
Mano y mano.
We love to grow. So whatever it takes, help us grow.
Okay, cool. Thanks for listening. Share this podcast with somebody that you know that really wants to lose 30 pounds in the next 4 weeks.
Yes.
Tell them you're going to find the answer here.
Right. All right. Ciao for now.
Ciao for now.
Thank you for subscribing on your social media and podcast platforms to the Berman Method. Dr. Jake Berman with Berman Physical Therapy and Jenni Berman, Physician Assistant with Berman Health and Wellness. You can find more information on our website, www.bermanpt.com for physical therapy, bermanpt.com/wellness for the health and wellness. You can also find us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and on your podcast platform. So be sure to follow us, like us, subscribe to us. And if you would like any further information, definitely visit our website and reach out to us. You may also find our free reports on the websites as well, where you can download this free information for yourself. Have a great day.